You know, Navjit, you have been talking about how India is the place to be, how the century belongs to India. But talk to us about the policy action. What is that is driving this amount of confidence? Is it the fact that the infrastructure is coming up quite well in terms of the airport, transport, etc.? What's driving your confidence?
So I think when we speak about the hotel industry is obviously only a small factor of the Indian economy, right? So if India's place in the world is in its rightful place and everything else around it, so I would think that there are 3 or 4 things that have dramatically changed
Sure.
in the last, I would say, during COVID and just before COVID. So obviously before COVID we had this push towards infrastructure, the digital payments, UPI, and our entire startup space has dramatically kind of elevated India. And obviously what's happening on the geopolitical scene as well as impacting and helping India between, you know, people want to de-risk themselves and want to establish another area where they can have growth. So India emerges as a natural choice. So I think we are being benefited from multiple spaces and things that are happening around the world. And we've always had this big demographic dividend, but people always doubted whether we'll ever reap the benefits of that dividend. And I think that with what's happened on infrastructure and the financial Aadhaar, UPI and all that stuff, I think that has kind of brought it all together. And suddenly people have this belief that yes, we can dramatically alter and become a much more stronger economy and become, you know, 5th largest economy, 3rd largest lodging market. And therefore there's this tremendous interest from not just the hotel majors, but every major industry around the world is concentrating and focusing on India.
Well, that certainly is the case in all my conversations, that China +1, Europe +1 strategy is something that comes out quite strongly. But you know, one thing which is a bit difficult for the hospitality industry, yet very, very critical and important, is sustainability, right? And hospitality is at that edge wherein consumers want something else, but to manage that in the right amount and appropriate amount of resources is very difficult. How are you matching that?
So I think long before sustainability and ESG became a buzzword in industry, we've at Hilton had a travel with purpose.
Okay.
So we believe that wherever we go in the world, and you know, this starts from Conrad Hilton's time. He believed himself to be an ambassador for travel. He believed that travel can bring the world together, and that's how, you know, Hilton hotels were set up, you know, during the Cold War in major cities around the world as a place where people came together and kind of built friendships, and diplomacy kind of took over. And I think as an extension of that, we believe that travel with purpose is looking at all the different impact that we have around, whether it's communities, whether it's with guests, whether it's with team members, whether it's with owners. So we try to bring that all together, and I think that's kind of become what's actually important to do business today. So people are really concerned about the carbon footprint that they are having. They are concerned about, as we spoke about, the experiences that they are. It's local. It's not just a, you know, something that
that's artificially
put. They are concerned about what is happening with our water resources. It's the most important resource around the world. What are we doing with plastics, right? What we have committed ourselves to use local seafood and reduce our carbon footprint. So all our hotels around the world have been focused on this for years. Obviously, it's become a much larger area for focus around the world for other people as well now.